Hi guys, Sarah here. I just wanted to do a final video to say thank you for all of your wonderful input throughout this teaching period. It's so hard to believe we're at the end. Here I am, warm and no fire on, and we've gone from having discussions about being so cold, having blankets on knees. This is my second take on the video today. I did one trying to sit outside in the sun and it was gorgeous, but you couldn't see the screen, and then a bird shat on me. so I'm back inside again now. But look, I just wanted to say thank you to you all. It's been a fantastic teaching period for me. I've learned a lot from you all along the way and really refined some of my marketing skills and knowledge too, which is really good. And we're all on a continuous learning journey too, so that's fantastic. So week 12 it is. So you've got another week for assessment 4, and this week we have 2 activities. I know a lot of you have other assessments still due, or even an exam too, so I appreciate that you're madly busy, but please do drop into the activity board, discussion board this week, and make sure you have got the 2 activities. So the learning content, the material for this week is around sustainable and ethical marketing, which will help you with assessment 4, a component of your criteria 3 when you're communicating your value proposition using the marketing mix with your recommendations. And so for the 2 activities, the first one is about controversial advertising. I've found an ad that I found really quite interesting, posted. So have a look at that and see what you think. See if you can come up with some ads that have been controversial or unethical, and talk about whether you agree or disagree, and why you think that may be the case as well. The second activity is a unit wrap-up. So that's where we'd love you to revisit those goals we set in week 1. I know we've all looked at them again throughout this teaching period more recently too, but just jump back in and have a look at that and see whether you feel that we've fulfilled those goals for you, and more importantly talk about what you've got out of the unit, but also what sort of advice you might give future students. This unit has been completely reworked, so I'd love to hear your ideas and thoughts about some advice for students for next teaching period too. Probably teamwork might be something. Having marked all of your assessment 3s, I have been so impressed with the quality and the standard. It's an absolute credit to you all, and I know some of you had a great time in the teamwork, and some of you had some challenges, and as such some of you ended up doing the assessment on your own, which I know was a little tricky as well. I think at the end of the day, teamwork is here to stay. It may be assessed differently in different units. The reason for that is it's a really good skill that we build in industry, we need in industry and life as well, is the ability to work well in a team. And I know sometimes people find it really tricky because it's in the online environment, and why do we have teamwork in that atmosphere? But in actual fact, it's very similar to what you might experience in the workplace, because there are a lot of virtual teams that you might work with in other states or even overseas. So a lot of people, even as managers, will need to remotely manage their team. So we're not always going to be face to face. We're not always going to be in the same room. So it's a really important thing to remember and take away from there. I think a key observation for me and the work I've done in teams as well is to get started early. I think the people that got started early for assessment 3 were able to sort out their teams early on, set up some roles, expectations, work out what tools you were going to use with earlier, probably had a little bit more success, and that the whole experience was a bit more pleasurable too. So just a couple of key takeaways there for you as well. We've got the Student Success Survey, which is still open. I think some of you have already had a go at that, which is excellent. And if you could just jump on when you get a chance to give us some feedback more generally about SOL and how the units run and so forth, but also me as an ELA. I'd love to hear your thoughts, and I need feedback like you guys do too, and it's a development tool for me. So each teaching period I take components out of that and I work on them for next teaching period, just to see if I can be a bit of a better ELA each time. On that note, I've loved being your ELA. I think we've had some particularly active groups and some wonderful, robust, interesting, smart and cheeky and great discussions along the way. And that makes some really good work for an ELA. And it's so hard for me to know sometimes just what you guys see on the discussion board, what you take away. And I'm sure there's a lot of you who are reading and getting as much out of as you can, even though you're not contributing. But it's just so hard for me to know. And I just sort of worry that I don't want people to miss out on stuff. So that's why if sometimes you think, oh God, here she is again banging on about the discussion board, I won't be the only ELA that talks like that, because at the end of the day, I don't want you guys to miss out. And this is about your learning and your education and your path as well. And yes, it's my job and I love it, and I'm a very lucky girl to have it. But just remember for future ELAs to see if you can jump in and help out that way too, because it just makes for a much better learning environment, and much more inclusive, and the good old social constructivism that Soul is based on is a key philosophy there, that we cascade our learning in a social environment too. Just having a look at some of my notes so I don't miss anything for you. So when you submit assessment 3, I see 4, sorry, I notice a number of you have, which is excellent, and you're done and dusted. Please make sure you keep an eye on your email, because I will start marking them on Monday next week and have 2 weeks to mark them. So if something's wrong with one of them during that period, I can contact you. So please keep an eye on your email. It could be that I can't hear it, or that the link's not working, things like that. So on that note, make sure, I think a couple of people have had a really good run at practicing on the discussion boards with the voice thread technology. And if you haven't done that yet, do so. It appears in the week 10 learning activity under my tips forum, and you can have a run at it there. There's some really great instructions that Sasha's put together. And the key is your ability to be able to share it particularly as well. And there's a couple of check and uncheck boxes that sometimes look a little bit contradictory when you look at the instructions. So the way to get around that is to maybe share it with somebody and see if they can review it too, and it all works well for them. So please keep an eye on your email in case I need to contact you too. I'm heading to Introduction to Management next teaching period, so if any of you are going back that way, I might see you there. I've had a number of repeat students for the last couple of teaching periods, and it's just been so much fun getting to know you even further, and I really appreciated how you've grown and developed as well. And for those who are new to me too, I can just see a massive improvement from Assessment 1 to where you are today. And so therefore I'm also looking forward to Assessment 4, because I can't wait to hear your voices, because you're probably sick to death of my voice too now. So I look forward to listening to that as well as we go. So as you progress into your chosen fields, your disciplines through business, make sure you continue to build up those networks and keep in touch with each other, because in businesses, as you progress, you never know. You might remember somebody you're at uni with, you might need them down the track, and they had some great insights and so forth. And try and find each other on LinkedIn. I'm on LinkedIn under Sarah Seaman, so see if you can find me there. It's SEAMAN. And keep in touch. So I wish you all the best. I look forward to chatting to you throughout the rest of the week, and I'm here all week to help you out with Assessment 4. And you're almost there. And good luck if you've got exams in any other units and other assessments to go to. So I thank you so much for this fantastic teaching period, guys. Bye.